Hey there, welcome to a brand new episode of Muzikxpress. My name is Twan, and in this week's vlog I'm gonna show you the interview that I did with Laurent Véronnez, a.k.a. Airwave. Enjoy! Airwave is one of the many projects of Belgian-based DJ producer Laurent Véronnez. Back in the 90s, when he was just 20 years old, lots of his productions already got played by the world's biggest DJs. Some of the tracks that came out under his Airwave alias are I Want to Believe, Above the Sky, Alone in the Dark, Lady Blue, Save Me, When Things Go Wrong, and many others. Besides his Airwave project, Laurent also worked under names such as L-Vee, the Green Martian, Planisphere, Lolo, Cloud 69, V1, and many others. It is pretty much impossible to count all his productions and remixes, but I'm sure it's getting close to 500 different tracks and remixes. This year, Laurent is celebrating 20 years of Airwave, so a good reason to sit down with the man himself for an interview about the past, the present and the future. This year you're celebrating 20 years of Airwave. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Big milestone.
Yeah.
What can we expect of 20 years of Airwave?
Lots of happenings. First of all, a beautiful CD compilation. So on the digital version, on all the download portals and streaming services. Also a CD edition with 17 of the very best tracks from Airwave in the full length. It's going to be a very nice package. It's really cool. Secondly, there is a vinyl coming, a vinyl box, and it's a 4 vinyl edition, 4 disc set containing no less than 7 previously unreleased tracks on vinyl. So we put also the classics such as Lady Blue and Save Me and many others, but also the latest, let's say, hits or of the new age of Airwave, such as Tigris and Euphrates and Cathedrals of Hope and a few others. And really looking forward to getting the vinyl and showing it to you, man. Really.
And when is that one coming out?
It should be April, May. So by the time you see this, it should be available extremely soon, and I will be probably promoting it full time myself, because we really want to throw this at your faces, because we only do I believe 500 copies of the vinyl edition. So it's gonna be, and the vinyls are beautiful color, but I cannot say more about that for now.
What's your personal highlight of 20 years of Airwave?
My personal highlight of the last 20 years, I mean, my biggest achievement as in the last 20 years as Airwave must be the release and the subsequent tour behind Trilogic, the triple album that we released back in 2006, 13 years ago. For me, it was a dream come true, because I always wanted to expand my horizons, explore new possibilities and everything, and Trilogic made it possible. And on top of that, I could tour and do different things, start playing live on the keyboards behind a DJ booth. That was something that I hadn't previously done. So it was for me the very best achievement, actually.
You released a massive amount of tracks during those 20 years. Which Airwave track are you the most proud of, and why?
Can I just name you one or several ones? Because there are so many I'm so proud of. But there is, first of all, Above the Sky is probably, because you have to know that I made that track in pretty much 80-90 minutes. It was just get in the studio in Antwerp, get there at the back of a record shop, so I could hear the music from the record shop in the background. I was like, hey, I would like to, maybe I could do this euphoric melody, and I just copied and pasted it for like 8-9 times, and then bam, an hour and a half later, my friend comes from the record shop and he's like, I'm done with my shopping. And I'm like, I'm done with my track. you know. Secondly, there is also, I guess, Lady Blue, which is a track that I that I did completely, say, out of the blue. I didn't know what to think about that track. First of all, I was like, hey. So I asked Marnik, my manager, hey, what do you think of it? And he told me, listen, I will reply later with a little message. And he messaged me. He said, listen, it's a massive hit. Thirdly, there is also Alone in the Dark. That was a magical moment, you know, because I made that track. Actually, Alone in the Dark refers to the video game, of course, but also refers to what happened that night. I was alone in the dark. It was 99. I was on my own, living in Antwerp. I had been living there for like, 2-3 months. I had nothing else to do, no girlfriend anymore. I was on my own, and I could just spend a whole night in the studio. So I did that track. And yeah, these are three of the free picks of the Abyssal collection that I have, but I'm really, really proud of those three. Yeah.
So we know there will be a compilation, but can we also expect a new Airwave album this year?
Probably not this year, but there are things in the making. This is all I can tell for now. These are great things. That will come up with a twist in a very unexpected way. This is all I can say for now. It's all in the works. It's all on the map on my roadmap, and it's all scheduled. And I'm really crossing my fingers because I really want it to work. I want to take everyone by surprise. So I cannot tell exactly what's going to happen, but it's really, really, really cool. And the timing and everything is very important here. So I will keep that for later on. I hope you don't mind. But there is definitely something in the making.
Cool. The fans are gonna be happy about that.
Yeah, I hope so.
There was actually an album planned which got cancelled. But will we ever get to hear those tracks on another album maybe? No. Actually, there is a reason for that. For those tracks not to be released. I didn't feel comfortable with the state of the evolution of the sound and everything. And people wanted me to explore that 140 way, which is cool, really. And I had a lot of fun doing that. But by listening to the tracks over and over again, I was like, this is not really me. And with my manager, we came to the same conclusion. It's not really what I'm looking for. So I'd rather leave that to the people who really specialize and really have a passion for this kind of sound, and just focus on what I like the most. And there are so many other things to explore. So who knows? Maybe I can recycle those tracks, make different versions, but nothing in the works. Of that kind right now, but who knows? So, how do you actually begin when you start working on a new track?
How I start on a new track? I have two approaches. The I don't care approach. I just sit on my computer. I'm like, I really need to get something done today, and I just open my workstation and start, putting things into the sequencer quickly, and then we'll see what happens. And I have the other approach, which is a lot more artistic, where I just spend sometimes days on a 2-minute, not demo but melody or something, piano part or something, and I just make a whole track out of it. That's the juicy part for the musician inside, and this is exactly what I like the most. But I like the spontaneity of just making a track. There are so many cool things in terms of technology nowadays that let you just create music on the fly. It's just crazy, and I love that. But on top of that, I like spending just one day for like just 20 seconds and just play it live, because that's the most important thing. It's an integral part of my creative process. Play things live and not sequence them. I hate when I have to sequence things, with the step input. It's nothing for me.
Writers sometimes have a writer's block. Does that happen to you as well when you're in the studio?
Okay, I gotta be honest with you. It happens to me all the time. Just like with all the others, it happens to me all the time. The first 10 years of my career, I was extremely prolific, to the point where, it was overkill. And after that, and between 2009 and 2011, I got the biggest writer's block you can imagine. And it happened to me again the last 2 years. Despite my efforts in making new stuff, I was not really inspired. And I was like, at some point I decided it's okay to have a writer's block, but it's much better to know why you have a writer's block. So instead of stressing about having writer's block and trying to I just question myself about the reasons that led me to the writer's block, and then I try to solve my issues, my personal issues, because it's all due to personal issues most of the time.
Do you mostly use software or hardware these days?
I use pretty much only software. Sorry about that. Software, yeah, because for me it's the way to go. I have my reasons. It's just that the cabling and everything is not very well, and my work environment is not really suitable for hardware. But who knows, maybe I would go for a few modular synths, on my own, for a few modules in the next years. Time will tell, but right now I'm really cool with a software only, and I work in the box, and this is what I really like the most, because I want to keep digging with this actual generation of geniuses, sound designers and coders and new software companies. They are really prolific, and they make incredible software. So I just want to push them.
What is the biggest difference for you when you compare making a track now or 20 years ago?
Oh man, the sound. Because we've come from a situation where electronic music was just like, the backbone of all genres. There was absolutely no skills required to mix down a track. You just fire two, three synths up, and you just start making music, and you're like, okay, a bit of EQ here and a bit of compression, you're done. And we came from there, and nowadays electronic music overall is the most complex genre and subgenres to mix down. Can you believe it? It's coming from the words of a sound engineer, a friend of mine. We've been friends for approximately 30 years, and he told me that recently. He said, listen, we're coming from 20 years ago, it was the easiest genre to mix down. Now it's the most complex one. I cannot even do it myself properly, he said. So that explains a lot. You spend a lot more time trying to do that, trying to make a track sound good, especially now with digital and everything. And this is why I understand why people go back to hardware, because it's a lot more spontaneous, and spend a lot less time messing and questioning about the art that you create.
Do you work quicker now compared to 20 years ago?
No, it's the opposite, because I am never satisfied with my stuff. And back then I had no choice, because this is all I had. Now I have so much software. This is also one of the downsides of software, by the way. I have so much that it's become a headache. Mixing a track down and properly is a headache for me, and I wish I could just go back to 20 years ago. Sometimes it's just not pay attention to the mix down and everything. Of course, when you listen to the classics, they don't sound all very well. They have this spontaneity and everything, and you're like, actually, I like this as well, as much. And there is a lot. It still remains a source of inspiration for me nowadays. This old music. So
Besides your Airwave project, you've done tracks under other names as well, such as the Green Martian, Lolo, Cloud 69, Fire and Ice, and V1 for example. Are there any plans to bring back one of those projects in the near future?
I have absolutely no answer to this question right now because I haven't planned anything. Actually, with the development of the digital world we live into and everything, we've entered a world where the name is very important because the people, they don't get any booklet anymore. They get no access to the credits of a record. So the name you put on the record is very important. So I had to streamline everything and put it on a single project name, which is the most important one, Airwave, of course. But I cannot exclude going back and re-exploring Planisphere, just like I'm doing now with 20 Years of Airwave. I cannot exclude re-exploring Planisphere, for example, or maybe who's up for Green Martian, just for one-off. I did it a few years ago, and with a 140 track, it was really fun to do. And other things, yeah, I have no exclusives right now. I'm not like, no, I'm not gonna do that ever again. But right now, it's not my priority. Yeah. So my priority is Airwave and the 20 years that span this whole discography and everything.
Are there any people you would still love to work with?
Yeah, a lot of them. There is just dropping a hint here, but I'd love to make a track with Ferry Corsten. Actually, I've always wanted to, but who knows? It's open. I'm all ears. But on the other hand, I would love to see if I can develop my other passion for a specific genre right now, which is neoclassical. And I would love to get in touch with a few of the stars of the genre right now, because I'm really deeply into this music. Very intimate. Some people talk about the Scandic sounds, so someone like Olafur Arnolds, who's a fantastic composer. And beyond that, there is always a guy, I've been in touch with him, he's a friend, he's from Sweden, he's called Solar Fields. I'm a huge fan of his. We've been in talks for years about making something together. It never happens because we never get the occasion. Who knows, maybe. And there are plenty others I would like to ever collaborate with. God knows, God only knows if it will ever happen, but I'd love to.
You kind of did answer this question a bit already maybe, but what kind of music do you listen to when you're not in the studio?
Yeah, so a lot of neoclassical, that comes without saying. A lot of movie soundtracks, especially the hybrid ones that make only use of very intimate sounds or synthesizers only, because I think that the soundtracks went a bit too epic and blah blah blah, and I don't like the epic sound. I like when it's very intimate or very very complex. So and besides that, I listen to a lot of ambient music, sometimes rock music, post rock, and stuff like that. Very very chill moments, because it's what I like the most. I was born with that music, and I keep digging into my own collection from 20-30 years ago. Listening to Blade Runner is timeless. Yeah. I put this record on. It's just like Movements by Solar Fields. I put this record on like every 2 months or 3 months. I have the vinyl, the blue edition is beautiful, and I just put that on the player, and then you're like, cup of coffee. And
if there's one thing you could change in the music industry, what would it be and why?
One thing I would change, I think it's already changing, and this is the community thing. Actually, the community, the sense of community for artists and people from the business, the sense of community, feeling part of a bigger thing, it's already taken over. It's already happening right now with the likes of YouTube, Vimeo, and other ways to express yourself as a video vlogger or as a blogger. Right now we are talking a lot about ourselves, but it's gonna migrate. It's already migrating, because I've seen many people expanding their horizons, not being afraid of talking about someone. You see the game developers, for example, the video game developers, they're like drooling and they're just championing all the others and everything, and they openly talk about their passion for this or that guy, you know. I think it's great, and we should definitely dig into that direction a bit more often, and it's already happening, so it's really cool, you know.
What else can we expect from you in the near future?
So what we can expect, of course, the 20 years compilation. Besides that, there are remixes of my classics in the making, and they are coming pretty soon. And beyond that, we have a few more things in the making. I've just released a record on Juve Recordings called Attraction. It's a free tracker with Attraction, Manifest, and a beautiful, gorgeous track that I wrote for a couple of friends of mine. She lives in San Diego, he lives in Perth, Australia, and they got together, they got married recently. So the track is called Perth to San Diego, because he made the trip to just enter her life and everything. And it's a beautiful love story, and they were friends of mine. I wanted to write something special about that, and I'm sorry I'm getting a bit emotional about this, but this is the kind of stuff I like. And yeah, so remixes from myself for 20 Years Airwave. I mean, remixes from myself, but also from the likes of Mir Omar, Guy Barone, among others. Beautiful, gorgeous mixes from everyone. Really, really. Thank you guys for the great remixes here.
Thank you very much for your time, and good luck with 20 Years of Airwave.
Thanks a lot for the interview here. It was an honor.
Alright, that was it, this week's vlog. My interview with Laurent Véronnez, a.k.a. Airwave. Laurent, thank you very much for your time. Much appreciated. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the vlog. If you did, make sure to give this video a like. Leave a comment in the comment section below. And if you didn't already, make sure to subscribe. Once again, thank you for watching, and until next time, bye bye.